So you should be seeing a page of newsletters. They're all published. These are newsletters that went out today. So I'll show you how these are created. I'll show you how we create the avatar for these newsletters. And then I think Perry also wanted me to show you some of the other software, right, Perry? Is that the idea? Probably. He probably went pee or something. So, okay. So first of all, these are all our properties here, right? And the way that this is set up is these newsletters are on a schedule, right? So today is what? Today's Friday. Okay. So these are the newsletters that were set to go out today, and they automatically populate here. Okay. So it'll pull the next one in queue. And then the email team just comes in here and they click on send email. And then when they do, it gives them the subject line, the pre-header, and then our email team can go ahead and click copy and send the email. And what it does is it'll give them the straight line HTML or whatever, and then you can send out through your existing autoresponder, right? So whether it be Active Campaign or Go High Level or Campaign Refinery or whatever you're using, right? And the next phase, what we're going to be working on probably in the next month, we're super heavy, and I'll show you some of the projects we've been working on, is you'll probably end up sending out of this system here using like SendGrid or Mailgun, right? SMTP providers. But the reason why we wanted to do it where you could just copy the straight line HTML is because we know people already have leads in their autoresponder. They have contacts in there. And we also know that this is a great technique to bring dead contacts back from the dead, right? So you can revive your list and everything with newsletters. I'm sure Perry talked a little bit about that, right? So how this works is this is where all the newsletters that are scheduled to go out today are, okay? So these are all the newsletters that we sent out. And if I were to come over here and if I was to click on edit, you'll see that here is a newsletter. We got some monetization happening. And all of this is AI generated. And I'll talk about some of the viral things here, like quote of the day, interesting facts, joke of the day. There's an answer to the trivia question at the bottom. All of this stuff comes in automatically, right? So if I were to come over here and if I were to go to newsletter publications, what happens is we have certain properties like the Capitalist, breaking news alerts, and celebrity gossiper, where our newsletters are dependent on what happens in the last 24 hours, right? Especially the news and the Capitalist one. But the rest of them, like homesteading, survival life, gun carrier, DIY projects, homemade recipe, makeup tutorials, mighty goodness, garden season, nail, cute outfits, sewing.com, all of those ones, we can actually start to bank the newsletters. We have a separate team that can create them ahead of time. So if I were to come in here and let me just go ahead and look at this draft here, I'll look at some of these that are in draft right now. If we were to come over here and if we were to look at this draft, you're going to see that this is our format for a newsletter, right? So we usually have a trivia question. This comes in from YouTube, and then this is all AI generated, every single bit of it, right? And so we have teams that go through and create these newsletters ahead of time. And then according to the schedule, those newsletters will just pull in. And then the email team comes in here, it copies the code, and it automatically switches over to published. Is everybody kind of up to par with what I'm showing you here? Type in the chat, let me know. I want to make sure I haven't lost anybody yet. Like scale of 1 out of 10. 1 means chat, I'm completely lost. 10 means, yep, totally get where you're going. Where are we at right now? Okay, good. All 10s, there's an 8. Okay, good. Good. Want to have you above the 5 if I can, right? So let's come over here and let's go ahead and come back over to our publications. Now, remember what I told you about a schedule. So homesteading is scheduled to go out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Capitalist, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Breaking news alerts, again, Monday through Friday. And then celebrity gossiper, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So whatever you have it set here for your schedule, it will pretty much pull your next newsletter. And if it's that day, it'll say, hey, here's the next newsletter ready to go. It's approved. Everything else, you just come in here, click a bot, and then boom, you're able to send it out to your autoresponder. It's published, it goes into the archives. Okay, so this is how you would go create a publication. And I'll talk about what the very, very near future holds. And this is the reason why we're going out there and telling everybody about the technology that we have. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here real fast, and I'm just going to create a new, we'll do this guy right here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say add newsletter. Okay, so now it's blank, and it's automatically going to go and pull in my logo, and I can come down here. To me, that's too big for me, but I can go ahead and size that down, whatever. And now I can come over here. Let me just go ahead and look at Google, and I'll look for something survival life, right? How to start a fire in the wild, or outdoors or wilderness or whatever else. Okay, so if I were to just come over here and if I were to find like this guy here, or that's Quora, let's go ahead and find a real article. I don't want to be challenged here. We find this guy here. Okay, so the first thing is I can very easily come over here and I can just go ahead and say, okay, you know what? I want you to take this link and I want you to go ahead and summarize it. And I want you to go ahead and include the words fire, and I want you to include the word match. And by the way, the other thing I could do is I could go ahead and click on this link here, and I can have it to where it'll look for the word fire when it's used, and it'll send it to an Amazon link or an affiliate link or whatever it is I want to do. Okay. I can also place my call to action at the end, and I can use an auto title. So there's some other settings up here where I can say, okay, I want it to be 100 words. I can pull in an avatar, which I'll show you here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and say create article. And let me go ahead and we'll do this one here. We'll say fire, and I'll say create article. And you'll see it'll go through GPT-4, and it'll go ahead and create the title for you, and it'll create the article. Right? So now we can come over here. We can do this. These are our AI blocks. If we come over here, this is typical stuff like you're used to, right? Text, headline, image, videos, all that other stuff. So if I go like this, if I drop a video here, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to say video, and let's just go ahead and do YouTube. And I'll do something about surviving in the woods or something like that, right? Surviving in the woods. And this is what our team does based on really hot topics that are taking place, right? So if we come over here and we'll look at this here, dugout shelter, that's cool. Okay. So I'll go ahead and take this here, and let's just go ahead and do this. Set video. I'll go ahead and place it there, and I'll say update section. And then what it'll do is it'll go and it'll pull the video in here, and it'll pull this in here, and I can change this. But this is very quickly how you can start to build a newsletter, right? Well, now if we come over here to the next tab, this is where it gets kind of crazy. See how it says survival skills? Well, if I just want to go ahead and have a trivia question at the top, I can go just like this. It'll pull that trivia question in, and maybe I want to change a prompt. If I do, I can come over here and I could go ahead and change a prompt. Every single one of these has a baked prompt, but you're free to change it, right? So I can also put the trivia question answer at the bottom, which has been a really good secret for us, because what that allows us to do is that allows the reader to go through and read your whole newsletter. And if they want to know the answer to the trivia question at the top, they got to scroll all the way to the bottom, right? Are all you starting to see this right now? So this is, we didn't necessarily build this, go out there and launch or introduce to the public. We had to build this for ourselves. We had to build this for our own company, right? So another thing, if I want to come over here and if I want to do like the quote of the day, well, the quote of the day is going to be focused around survival skills, right? Or maybe if I want to do like interesting facts, or if I want to do Q&A questions, right? I can just come in here and I can drag these in here, and notice that when the AI comes in, it's all formatted for you perfectly, right? The other thing you can do is, how many of you, you're looking at this, you're like, okay, but I'm in a niche where I don't really care about quote of the day or joke of the day, or what I would like to do is run a prompt where I'm able to pull, stats with crypto or something like that. Well, what you're able to do is you're able to come over here and you can go ahead and create your own custom blocks where it'll save the prompt for you. Is this making sense to everybody? And then I want to make sure, Brittany, people have started getting their access already, yeah?
Yeah. Their direct messages and their email.
Okay, so do me a favor, guys. Will you check your direct messages? Everybody that said they wanted access to this software, please check your direct messages and let us know that you got access. We're actually signing you up live on this call. The team is busting butt right now trying to get everybody fulfilled on this call.
And their email.
And their email, yeah. So we need your name, we need your email. Okay, good. So some people are saying, yep, they got access. Good, 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 good. Okay, cool. So this is how we go through, and this is how we create a newsletter. What's up, Perry? I'm not quite sure. Oh, you don't have, we can't hear you. You're muted. You know, I'm totally lost. It's like playing charades. What are you doing? Everybody can see you too. You're like hooking in. What's he saying? Do you understand? I think he wants to talk. Oh, can you make it to where he can talk again?
He should be able to.
You should be able to talk, Perry. He's saying no. Okay, hold on a minute.
You should be fine. Tell him right now.
All right, try now.
Now I can.
Now I seriously thought you were playing with me for a minute.
No, Brittany had me muted, and I'm like,
okay.
Trying to talk to you. Hey, I just sent you over a screenshot. If you can do something, Chad loves it when I throw things his way that he's not expecting.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I sent it to Matt. I'm sorry, I meant to send it to everyone. I just did a logo in Canva for. I'm going to pop it in the chat for Banjo Times. I did not tell Chad that we were building a newsletter live. And he may tell me to go screw myself. But can we build a Banjo Times newsletter and show them how you build one from scratch? Because you can build one from scratch in probably 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
Yeah, you couldn't choose anything cool like an electric guitar or something like that. You had to go to the banjo.
Well, everybody wants to play the banjo.
Ding, 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 ding.
You're from Kentucky, you want to play the banjo.
All right. Well, the hardest part is going to be for me trying to figure out where that damn image just saved. But if I could find that, hold on a second, guys. I'm not kidding you guys. Finding that where that image just saved is going to be.
Just watch out opening images on Chad's computer. There's no telling what you're gonna. There you go.
I think it's my computer they got to worry about. Right. It was a banjo.
But wouldn't y'all like to see that, like building a newsletter from scratch?
Yeah, Banjo Times. Banjo.
Because it'll take 5 minutes probably for him to build and he knows nothing about the banjo. I can assure you.
No, I could have, dude. I got a freaking Gibson Les Paul right down there. We could have rocked this out, right? But
I'm gonna grab you a banjo. I'm gonna grab you a banjo YouTube real quick, so you'll have one. So to put in the newsletter.
Banjo.
I'll get you a banjo video. You can pop in the newsletter. Give me just a second.
No business newsletter about this. All right.
Get her done.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? I'm gonna say art and design. Well, no, probably music. Okay. Could be art and design too. Who the hell plays the banjo, right? It should say
there is
really old, outdated males.
There you go. I just put a link to a banjo video in.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Martin plays the hell out of a banjo. You're right.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. Right. Okay. So we have Banjo Times here. Okay. But by the way, did you guys all see me doing that while we were having our banter back and forth? Did you guys? Let me ask this question, and I didn't even think about that, right? Because I'm like, why did he choose a banjo? But can you all do what I just did? Can you all do what I just did? I just created the publication. I could add it to the directory and everything. I didn't do that, right? Because I don't want to confuse you. So now look, let's just go over here. This Banjo Times is scheduled to go out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So let's just go ahead and add our first newsletter for Banjo Times, right?
By the way, that's a terrible logo. It shouldn't be so tall, but for right now, I made it in like 10 seconds in Canva. So
Yeah, you should show them that, Perry. That would be an amazing tutorial for you to show today. How many of you would like to learn how to
I'm happy to do that.
those in Canva? No, I'm just
Dan Fitzpatrick. What did Dan? He's a troublemaker. Don't click that, guys. It's probably porn. I know, Dan.
No, it's not. It's the video for the banjo dueling thing in Deliverance.
do me some banjo articles because I don't even know what to search for.
That's right. You
I'll
could
find
use
some.
that one. That
I'll give you a
transcends
couple.
generations.
I'm gonna throw a quote up here about banjo, playing the banjo like nobody's listening, and you'll feel like the rhythm of your soul comes alive. I can't believe people like this stuff, but they love it, right? They love it. All right, so now we need some. I guess we need some content, right?
I'm gonna find you some banjo articles. Hold on.
Ding, 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 ding. That's all I know about the banjo. All right. Will the recording be sent out? We're not even done with the call yet.
No, there will be no recording of this sent out.
No recording. All right, there you go. By the way, if I want, I could regenerate that text, I guess. I already told you guys I could come in here, I could see the prompt. Would you all do me a favor? Look, man, I'm the techie guy. I'm not really the prompt master. Perry is the prompt master. Will you all please beg him to come up with the coolest, like 450 word prompts for this software? Can you guys all do that for me? Because
Okay,
that will just make it sail, right?
Here's a really good hold on. Here's a good banjo article if I can figure out how Zoom works. There you go, Chad. That's a banjo article. You can show them how. So, because what Chad's about to show you, you grab that article, you drop it in, just watch, and you'll see. And that article link is going to go in there, and then the software is going to write a teaser, a link teaser, which is basically like a tweet promoting people to go read that, read that article, right? See there, it just wrote that whole framework. And if you click on that link in the newsletter, it's going to take you to that article. But the AI doesn't plagiarize the article. The AI actually writes a promotional piece with the objective of you clicking on the article. And you might think, well, why would I want to send people off to other people's content? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's good for the reader, and that's what you should be really concentrating on, and what's good for the reader. Number two, it shows Google that you're sending out good stuff because people are clicking on it, right? And you know these are good articles because they're high-ranking articles, right? So all of these things can be dropped in, all types of content, images, banner ads, spacers, text, articles, etc. And in some cases, in some of our publications, we don't even do it this way. We just do one big long article that goes out like once or twice a week to people, like a 1,500 word article as a newsletter that has no links in it. That's a different strategy. We can talk about that later, but that's what you use for the 1-2 punch strategy. But if you want to be in the newsletter business, I know Matt's on here. Matt's got a team of a jillion people working for him in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was out there and spoke at an event with him not long ago. At 16 people. Matt has 16 people that do this. We publish 19 newsletters a day with 2 Philippine outsourcers. So it's crazy, Now, Matt has a different kind of business. He does a lot of research and it builds a super high quality content. We're really more in the hobby space. It's a different animal for him than me. But like Matt pays a lot of money to get leads in his financial newsletter, a lot, right? We pay almost nothing to get people into these newsletters and then cross them over. So it's a different strategy. But you can see, like, we popped one of our own ads in here for a t-shirt, right? Thanks, Matt. Coming from you, that's a big deal. If you look up Matt Paulson and if you don't mind, look up Matt Paulson and Market Beat, right, Matt? Yeah. Millions. I don't know Matt's sales, but I know that's millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. I've heard from your podcast where you've said public things, but people can look up 30 million a year, 4.2 million person. Look at that. Matt's being kind. Look at that stuff. 4.2 million subscribers to his financial newsletter, $30 million a year in revenue, right? So if you don't think that newsletters work,
Can
you're
we
smoking.
talk to him, Perry? Can we unmute him?
Oh, if Matt wants to talk, he can always talk. But I don't want to I didn't know you were going to be here. I don't want to put a spot on you, but
He says he'll chat. I'm
yeah,
sure.
sure. Yeah, unmute, man. Unmute Matt, please, Brittany, for sure.
Hello.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Sounds like you guys had a good time at TNC and since then too.
We did. I saw a couple of your folks at TNC out there. A couple of your girls were really sweet. We took a picture to send to you. I don't know if they sent it or not.
Yeah, they sent it.
Yeah. I went out. I don't know Matt really well. Matt was in a mastermind that we had for a while, and I know he's world famous in the financial newsletter publishing world, the Agora world, and all that. And then I got called not long ago. Hey, do you want to come speak at an event? And my booker booked me to speak at this event. And I said, man, they're paying me a lot of money to come to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Who in the heck is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? And it turns out Matt Paulson's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I think you wrote that check, didn't you, Matt?
I did.
Yeah. So
We
I
had
appreciate it.
it. It was a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a great time out there. But Matt is actually the most successful newsletter publisher that I know. So just lucky that you're here. He's not a seed or a plant, I promise. I didn't have any idea he was going to be here. I'm really impressed that you're here.
Yeah.
But how long you been running a newsletter?
We started the first newsletter in 2011, so it's been 12 years into
Long
it.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
Of your revenue, how much of it is a direct result of the newsletter versus the blog?
It's almost all email-based stuff. SMS is a big component now too, but I'd say at least 75% of it is from the newsletter or just from emails to the newsletter list.
Yeah. And you can see, I guess you're saying in here, I'm putting words in your mouth, but I bet it wasn't this easy to do it when you started.
No, like we did an automated newsletter and it was all, like we had to write like C# code to make it happen and plug it into SendGood's API. And like you guys have basically done what we spent years writing code to do, and now you've given it to everybody. So nice work.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Been getting market beat forever. Look at that. You're one of your fans, buddy.
Harry, can I ask some questions to Matt?
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as Matt wants to answer, he's welcome here
Give
anytime.
me just 1 second so I can shut my office door.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Now he's going to talk bad about his employees.
Because you talk so much about.
All right, we are.
I'm super surprised he's here too.
All right,
guess-
I'm back.
He's going to talk bad about his employees now. He closed the door.
Yeah. So Matt, when you look at what I just shared here on the screen,
Yep.
does this give you any ideas what could be done? Is there anything we're missing? Like this is working out really well for us, but obviously you're on a whole new level, right?
Yeah. With the different categories of newsletters that, we've done over the years, the ones that really do well or where you can just give people kind of read long form articles with ads in between. The new one that we have is called tickertalk.com, and I'll put it in the chat so you can check it out. But, I think people just like to read text on their phone and then just kind of scroll as they read. I think there's less of a desire to click on links these days. So if you can just, put the whole article or something where people can just kind of scroll through it on their phone and read, like that seems to be what gets a lot of engagement these days.
Yeah, we're going back and forth and Matt from this curated version to like just a one long form. See, look at this. Look at the website for Ticker Talk. That's the whole website, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to it than that.
That's it. So if you're like, I don't know how to build a website.
Now, if you click on one of those stories, it'll show you the latest newsletter.
Yeah, newsletters are awesome. So they're just publishing the latest newsletter as a blog post. Some people do this, some people don't. It depends. Do you guys have an exclusive content I ain't got that yet with them on monetization, but do you guys have like a paid version of the newsletter that gives them exclusive content?
Not for this one. MarketBeat is the only brand where we have a paid subscription offering.
Yeah.
This is just all. This is actually kind of a unique strategy where we made the newsletter, we make the content, and we have an agency that sends all the traffic, and then we split the revenue 50-50. So that gets our lead cost down to 0, and with the right people, it makes for a great partnership.
So these are all partner links here. These are affiliate links, or what?
No, these are like articles we published on MarketBeat that just got repurposed for this newsletter.
Gotcha.
But our buddy Charles buys all the media for this newsletter, so he puts up his own money.
Is that Charles Fragel?
Yeah, that Charles.
I love Charles. I didn't know what Charles was doing now. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's working with us, but yeah, he sends the traffic and we run the list and we monetize it and split the money, and it's gotten great for both of us.
How long is any of this AI generated or no?
No, this is written by a person.
And obviously you're not writing it yourself.
No, we have a team of, this was written by Dan. We have a team of about 15 writers and 2 editors.
15 writers.
The investing space is a little bit unique in that, like, you probably don't want AI writing stock tips just yet, because there might be some liability with there if the AI ends up making a claim that the FTC would consider, not a good idea. So we're not quite doing that yet in terms of like having AI write our articles, but we do our newsletters, but we do have software that puts them together automatically. So like all the articles are in a database. Then the software that sends it out pulls the articles, puts the newsletter together, sends it, and we don't have to do anything.
So what's kind of cool is if you guys see how he's got all of these hyperlinks here, in our software, we knew that this was a very valuable feature. So that's where I said you can add as many words as you want. Even if AI wasn't planning on having those words there, our software will make sure that it puts those words in there. And then it'll also hyperlink them wherever you want to go. Yeah. So like he's linking to his own content, but it could be an affiliate offer. It could be Amazon.
And if you run through that newsette example, you probably, did you check them out after you saw me in Sioux Falls?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They're interesting because their links, some of them go to their own content. Most of them don't. They mostly go out, but some of them go to affiliate offers. Some of them go to house offers. Some of them they're just mixed in so much that they're mixed in so much. You don't know what you're about to click on. It might be an offer. It might be a story. It might be a whatever. Right. And I think they're doing a really good job with that. They're also measuring, behaviorally, how are their people behaving? How are they acting? So,
yeah,
man, I can't believe you're on here. I really do appreciate you doing this. This is, you can see, so did you subscribe, Chad, or is that you?
I did. I imagine that you're making some pretty decent profits off the thank you pages too, right?
Yeah. So right now we're really focused on building the SMS list. So you can see here, it's SMS opt-in, because I don't know, SMS subscribers worth probably about $20 to us if somebody fills that out. And then this is the afteroffers.com co-reg unit. They must be out of inventory right now because they're only showing our house ad right now.
So what that means is when Matt gets a subscriber, and we'll talk about this in monetization, when Matt gets a subscriber, he goes out on the thank you page and says, hey, you subscribed to my newsletter. Would you like to subscribe to these newsletters too? And if they do, he gets paid a commission for getting those other people newsletter subscribers. So it offsets his cost of getting a subscriber. Sometimes it can even push you into positive territory. Yeah. I got a couple things, Matt, that one of our guys in Driven right now, in Driven Mastermind doing,
yep.
They're about 130% positive on the front end on a really interesting thing. I'll share with you if you want to text me. I'll share with it probably. It's really, really, really good.
Hey, Norman, to answer your question, like After Offers is basically Spark Loop that's been around forever, and it's only for investing.
Yes.
Like if you do an investing blog, like you shouldn't do Spark Loop's co-reg, but otherwise, like if you have like a general topic, like Spark Loop is kind of where all the volume is at right now.
Yeah. After Hours, After Offers pays a much higher bounty usually than Spark Loop for financial, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's the money, right? I don't know how many times I clicked that, and each one was money, and then here's the right. So you're out there bringing in
traffic on that ad and go to that page. We probably made $3
because he hit the page. You made $3.
Yeah, because he clicked on the link.
I haven't even taken out my credit card yet.
Thanks, Jen. So
You're welcome.
Thanks
buddy.
for the $3.
next copy's on you.
So little did we know he's on here making money right now because
Yeah, because everybody clicked his link.
Uh,
he's no dummy.
That'll be my
All right.
next course is how to make money off other people's webinars.
There you go. That's
There you
it.
go. That's great. Yeah, this is awesome. This is a ClickBank offer, I imagine. Yeah.
No, this is investor relations ad for a company that's looking to get people to invest. That's
But
why I have
here's-
stock tickers all over it.
Here's what's amazing to me. And I hope everybody, like, how many of you are connecting the dots right now? Because everybody could go get a ClickBank account or a Digistore account. Our software, believe it or not, Matt, does similar co-reg features to what SparkLoop does. And even if you do take those co-reg or you say no thanks, guess what happens? You to a link.
Yeah.
And so that could be a ClickBank link, that could be a Digistore link or Commission Junction, any affiliate program. Are you guys starting to understand this right now? The money that's being made in this business is insane, and you're clearly proof of that. But what I want to ask you, Matt, so 2011, you didn't know that it was going to be as profitable as it's been, right?
No, but I started for the reason that all of you guys should start today is that like you can't count on Google sending traffic to your website. You couldn't count on it back then. You can't count on it now. And email is one thing that Google can't really screw up and Apple can't screw up. And, you know, it's a open standard. So none of them can really change it in any big way. They try every now and then, but it's they can't mess it up for us. So it's like an audience that you own versus an audience somebody else owns.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you heard Perry talking about sideways list building, right? Where we can take our contacts from one newsletter, then we can go out there and we can create a finance newsletter. We can create a health and wellness newsletter, or we can using the same contacts.
Yeah, and you could do things like, I know, Matt, you've done this before. Like, for instance, let's say you guys started an RV newsletter, right? You could get RV leads into an RV newsletter subscribers really, really cheap to people who own RVs.
Yep.
Then you could partner up with a guy like Matt or somebody in the financial space. If you didn't want to publish financial, you can make a deal with Matt, because RV owners are one of the best market segments for financial newsletter advice or financial trading advice, because they're usually over 50 years old with a lot of discretionary income.
Yep.
So there's that sideways list building that we do. It can work even if you're not in that space. You don't have to be in the space. There's always guys like Matt that are in this space, or they're in the gold guys, or the financial guys, or the personal development guys, or the supplement guys. There's always people out there that may be in businesses that I don't know if this is why Matt does this, but I assume that it is. I know Matt to be a super affiliate for a bunch of really big financial publishing houses. But the thing is, these financial publishing houses, these are highly regulated, really regulatory nightmares where you need a room full of lawyers in order to be in that business. But Matt doesn't need that. He just publishes his newsletter, sends those leads over there.
Mm-hmm.
They make the money. They pay him the lion's share of the front end of the money.
Yep.
Because they're going to make money down the road, right? And he doesn't have to worry about, I mean, he's still bound by some rules, but generally speaking, 1/100th of the rules that these financial publishers are bound by who are charging for their information.
The other thing that's kind of magical about being the newsletter operator versus the kind of back end monetization is that if whatever the hot thing is changes, you can just change your links. So like if gold offers are hot, you send the traffic to the gold offers. If something else is hot, you can just change your links. You don't have to like reinvent your product from the ground up. And you guys can certainly, do that too when you have a newsletter and an audience. You just figure out like what is the thing that's really hot right now, and you just send your traffic there, and you don't have to reinvent your business every time the winds change.
Yeah, no doubt. It's the perfect front end, I think, for any business. If you're beginning anything online right now, I'm telling everybody, step one, start a newsletter. I really think it's the place to start, no matter what you're doing. I really, really, really do, especially today. All right, man. Well, thanks so much, Matt, for being on. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, good chatting with you guys.
Great. Yeah, and congratulations on your success, man. That's That's awesome. I'd definitely like to connect with you some more. Maybe we can bring him to one of our newsletter events or something.
I will take that loan, by the way, if you want to loan me some. Matt owns half of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I mean, everybody in that town knows him. How many buildings have you got down there now?
I think we have about 30. So
30 buildings in downtown. Just 30.
yeah,
Just 30.
me and my buddy Kevin, we bought a lot of real estate in town. So
You're absolutely ridiculous, dude. All right, man.
invite me to a driven event or something. I'll come and speak in person.
You're invited. The
All
very
right.
next one, I want you to keynote it. It'll be fantastic. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Chat more soon.
Chad, go ahead and show your what a lucky break that was, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome. Wasn't expecting that. So I kind of wanted to show something that you guys won't see yet, but it's a good fit for what we just saw with Matt, right? And then I want to show the AI avatar thing because I think that's pretty cool, Perry, because I saw you bring out the avatar worksheet. So this is what I've been showing you. Now notice this is on a test domain, right? So we're in beta.
This is how we create ghostwriters, right?
Yeah, I'm not showing that just yet. I want to show this
crazy too
because we were hot and heavy with what Matt just showed, right? And this is going to make a lot of sense to you guys now that you've seen somebody that's making $30 million and how he's doing it. Well, in our software, our goal is the reason why we're going out there right now is because we're creating a newsletter directory. And by the way, somebody says, what about this yellow over here? Is that your UI? No, somebody on Zoom decided to color on the screen. But if I were to come over here and if I were to click on referral widgets, guys, and again, this is all being tested by our QC team right now, our QA team. If I were to come over here and click on this guy right here, and if I were to go inside of here, it's been a while since I've done this, you'll see that we're setting up the same exact thing. So when somebody signs up for your newsletter, you're going to recommend other people's newsletters. So you're going to be doing swaps with each other. And not only that, there's going to be people that just want to pay you for you to send traffic their way. And then again, same exact way, you're going to be able to redirect them after they opt in or they say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. You're going to be able to send them to a ClickBank offer, a Digistore offer, or something else. So I really want you guys to get involved with this opportunity.
It's our private network where you're working within the network of other publishers. There are about 350 publishers already in the network right now. And hopefully there'll be some more after today. We'll see.
Yeah, and you can see that Matt, he's still here. I thought he left, but he said, look what he's saying. Honestly, just start on ClickBank. We still send traffic to ClickBank off.
100%.
100%. Yeah, nothing wrong with this. So what we're going to do, I talked to Perry, like everybody's here today, like lucky you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a follow-up, an even more detailed training to the newsletter event that we did, because of the functionality that we've added to our software. And of course, we've now upgraded our software from GPT-3 to GPT-4. So now we're going to start getting into image creation and all kinds of wild, crazy stuff, right? But the question I have before I come over here and show you this avatar thing, and this is kind of magical, how many of you feel like you can now create a newsletter? And Matt's saying this stuff is not rocket science. Man, Matt, I wish you would just unmute yourself and just keep preaching, man, because I think they need to hear it, right? Like I'm super stoked he's here.
He's putting you to work, man.
I mean, there's nobody better to learn than somebody doing 30 million a year, right? Yeah. So
I sent Matt a text like literally 2 days ago, and I said, because I saw his girls at TNC, and I said, man, I'm so doggone jealous of your business. I really, really, really am. He's killing it. I guess he's had some time to build that up. So good for you.
Yeah, but look what he said here, Perry. Stuff is not rocket science. It just requires consistent effort. You can all totally do this. And so we know that consistency is.
I do have a question. I do have a question for Matt, really quick. Matt, if you don't mind, if you had to sell your business tomorrow, and I'm sure you've had offers.
Yeah.
What do you think it's worth?
So the closest analogy is what Morning Brew sold for. So they were doing 20 million in revenue in 2020 when they sold, and 6 million in EBITDA on that. So, and they sold for 75 million. So they sold for 11 times earnings. So for us on that 30, we're probably making 16, 17. So 11 times that. So
So couple hundred million dollars.
yeah, 150 to 200 is probably the number it would sell for to some big media company.
Yeah, I could live on that if I had to.
Yeah, I'd be okay.
You could get by.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. It's just people don't believe. They're like, how is an email list and an email newsletter worth $200 million? Because it is. It's just business, you know. And these companies that are buying companies like that right now, they're buying them largely because they don't want to buy media anymore. They don't want to, you know, like HubSpot bought The Hustle, so they didn't have to buy ads. The Hustle had 500,000 potential customers of theirs. Why wouldn't you just if you can buy the newspaper, why buy the ads? Right. I think it's the reason why. Plus, they get all that customer behavioral data in the back, which I'm sure you guys are mining like crazy because I know you're not dumb. So I can imagine, you know, the data information, the data profiles and the things you have on those readers, their behavioral. It's just crazy. Anyway, thanks for answering that. What you certainly, anything I ask you don't want to answer, just feel free to say, I ain't telling you. I'm not going to be mad about it.
There's definitely some secrets, but we don't care about that.
That's awesome. So Perry, I'm over here on the avatar. Come up with an avatar name for your little banjo newsletter, would you please?
Let's call it Buck Trent.
Buck Trent. So I'm going to click on
Trent.
that.
He sounds like a banjo player, doesn't he?
So we'll go to Banjo Times. We'll say Buck Trent. Okay. Do you want to explain what we're doing right now?
Yeah. So what we're doing, if you want really good AI content, the best thing to do first is to create an AI writer avatar. So you want to create a writer that's going to write. Was Buck Trent a person? Love Buck Trent. Rest in peace. I didn't know there was a Buck Trent. Okay. So yeah. So let's go in. What do we need to do when we go in there to create the avatar for him? What does it ask us?
Well, let's go ahead and do it, right? And by the way, I'm going to ask everybody, is this something you can do, right? So watch this closely. All right, so we got Buck Trent, and he's a banjo player, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it very, very minimal. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click Start. And by the way, this is Perry's actual prompt. He was pretty pissed off when he found out I did this. He's got to be careful of sharing prompts with me right now, right? So look. I want you to create an avatar who specializes in banjo player. Do you understand? Yes. Next step. Okay. Do you recognize this, Perry?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says do this data collection, training, fine tuning, user interface, whatever else, right? And when we tie this into Chat GPT-4, my God, right? So gather the 10 best YouTube channels on banjo player. So I'm going to expand this, and I have no idea. If this was a Gibson Les Paul, I could tell you all about it, right? But do you recognize some of those names?
You see how quickly that pulled that up? Those are the 10 best YouTube videos. So what it's doing right now is training itself to be a banjo player expert.
There you go.
I'm going to go look and see who Buck Trent was. Can't believe I didn't know who Buck Trent was.
Who are the 10 best?
He was a banjo player. How the hell? I didn't know that. I guess I just heard that subconsciously and didn't know it.
Somehow.
Okay, I got off in the woods on that one. Sorry about that.
So where's Steve Martin? Isn't he?
Steve Martin is probably in California, would be my guess. Keep going.
Isn't he like number one?
He's the best in the world. But he probably doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Okay. Create an avatar who has full knowledge of these experts. Right. So go through.
So what you're telling it is you want your avatar to be influenced by all these people. So like, for instance, I created a gardening expert and she was influenced by Martha Stewart and who's the Southern racist lady? I can't think of her name right now. The Paula Deen. Yeah. And she read Louis Grizzard and then everybody knows, all I got to say is Southern racist lady, and everybody knows what I'm talking about instantly. By the way, those are a lot of those people that are popping in there right now are our Ignite Mastermind members and Driven Mastermind members. Thank y'all for being here. Really do appreciate the support. But the answer to some of these questions, but keep going.
Yep. So I'm gonna click next step, right? All right. So now it's going to take that. Let's create an in-depth profile of our avatar by the name of Buck Trent. And take all that information. Now we're starting to drill down to our avatar, and here we go, right? So you can see personality, skills, and abilities. Like
you already grabbed that. What he looks like, and let me grab that real quick. Send it to me in chat, and I'm going to go over and create a Buck Trent person. No, not the whole thing. I don't need the whole thing. I just want the appearance. What does he look like?
Oh, okay.
Send me that in chat, and I'm going to go over and create you a Buck Trent image.
Well, you ought to show that too.
I will, but I'll just make it for now, and I'll show them how to do it in a second.
All right, I'll just post it here in the chat. I can send it to you directly. Right, here you go, Perry. Here we go. All right. There you go. All right, okay. You should have it, Perry.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna do that while you go.
So next step. All right, so look at this, guys. What else would our readers want to know about Buck Trent to better connect? Okay, so it's going to come through and all this stuff, right? To foster a deeper connection and understanding with the readers, here are a few additional details. Early inspirations, accomplishments, versatility, philanthropy, adventures. Let's see, continued performances. Look at this. How many of you are impressed with this right now? If you haven't received a link to the software, trust me, I see the team working very, very diligently to get that to you.
They're going to be bouncing off the walls now wanting it. So
yeah. Create this background items, rewrite Buck Trent's profile with them, and include and provide only response without mention. Guys, this stuff here, this is the direction we're going with all of our software, just so you know. The same thing that you're seeing right now, I've got it this close, where we're going to have sales pages following Perry Belcher's formula inside of our funnel builder as well. The same kind of technology, the ease of what you're seeing right now, man, we're really doing something incredible, right? So now, if I'm happy with this, I can go ahead and save this, right? And once I've saved this, now what happens is the profile has been updated successfully. So when I'm creating my newsletters, okay, what I should be able to do, if I set this up properly, let me come back over here to my draft. I should be able to choose the profile whenever I'm dragging things in, right? So let me come over here to newsletters, publications. And by the way, how many of you are really impressed with the speed of this software right now? Because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. If I do a speed test, guys, this is what I'm dealing with right now. I'm in the most beautiful part of Vegas, worst internet ever, and look how fast everything's working, right? Pretty damn fast. But let's come over here again. Let's say add newsletter. And now that we've done this, if I were to go ahead and drop a link teaser in here this time, somebody give me an article again. Somebody just give me a link real fast. See over here, I can go ahead and choose my voice profile, which is Buck Trent. Okay, so now that that profile has been selected, I didn't get it on. Can you give me a link?
And hey, pretty soon, Buck Trent's going to be able to read the newsletter to them audibly. That'll be next. It's going to be really cool. They're just going to be able to go in and have Buck read them the newsletter.
Nobody sent me that. Y'all are letting me around. All right, let's try this. Banjo. I don't even know what to search for banjo, right? Like, what would I search for? Banjo news? Okay,
hey,
there
Chad,
we go.
While you prep really quick, won't you let me share and I'll show them that. I'll show them how to create this image real quick and how I made it. Okay.
Yeah, sure. But if I create the article now, you guys can see that it's going to be in the voice of Buck Trent. But let me go ahead and show you. Whoops, I hit that. Damn it. I don't know, Brittany. I'll let you set that up. I screwed that up. Don't let us push the buttons. You You're muted. Muted. I didn't mute him either.
Perry, you're muted. Oh, no.
Hold on, Perry. You're muted. Give us.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Chill out. All right. So you got me now? Yes? Hello?
We hear you. We hear you.
Okay, cool. So I just went in and grabbed what Chad sent me describing Buck Trent because he's a made up figure. We made him up, right? So we might as well give him a face, right? So look at this. This is Midjourney. I just dropped this into Midjourney, and I love this one to the bottom right. So now there's Buck Trent, our banjo playing moniker, right? That's our guy. Or we can have, we could have the one at the top. You could choose number 2. And we show people how to use this software all the time for other reasons. But how cool is that? So when you're writing as Buck Trent, you got a Buck Trent voice, you got a Buck Trent image, right? That was created. This was the exact prompt that when the Chad's newsletter software created what Buck Trent should look like, I just fed it to Midjourney, and there he is. How cool is that? Does everybody like that? Now, I'm going to go back real quick and show them just really, really quickly the banjo. If you can see this. So I just created the logo in Canva, and I literally did it in a second. I'll do a totally different one to show you how fast you can do this. So you just go here. I just went to Elements, and I chose banjo, and I'll use this one. It'll be a little different this time. And that's it. Grab text, headline. I used the banjo as the O. And it's really quite that simple. I'm going to give a little extra space there. And then you don't even have to be exact about this at all. So I'd change the font to be a little more fun because I wanted something that just looked a little different, but I could have used this. I don't think that looks as good, but if I wanted to do that as the way I wanted to do banjo, I could. And that could be the Banjo Times. And then all you do when you're ready to use that as a logo, you can do the fancy way, but the easy way is just take a screenshot of it. And there's your logo, right? So it's that quick to create a logo. If I want to go back to a more readable font, all I got to do is go here. Yeah, which that looks a little better, to be honest. But I could change the color of the font to match the color of the banjo if I want. Let's go up here. Let's do a dark brown. And I always drop a little trademark emblem to the top of mine because I think it looks cooler. You guys are learning a lot today, aren't you? Who feels like they learned as much on this call as they learn in a course? I mean, there are a lot of courses I don't think you learn as much as we've learned on this call. Plus to get software and you haven't spent any money. It's really cool. So there's a Banjo Times logo. It's really quite a lot better than the one I did earlier. And we did it in just a few seconds in Canva. So I'll cut that one and send it to you, Chad. If you want to swap them out, we can. We go back to the, me, I'm terrible with all this tech crap, but yeah, there we go. Yes, but I need to get access to the software, says David. They're getting access to software. Damn it, people. What am I going to do with you? I'll tell you. They're working on it, dude. I don't know when you came in, but they'll get it for you in a couple minutes. You'll have it. Everybody's getting it. It's just takes a couple minutes to get through. Love you. Mean it. Okay. Chad, that's those two things. Back to you, I guess. Let me get out of here. I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, man. Well, I showed how to create the newsletter. The only thing I didn't show was like the monetization center. Like you guys saw me like pulling a shirt. So I think that's really cool. If you look over here, like obviously we're in the print on demand business big time. That's like our lead gen, but this could be your course. It could be a newsletter sign up. It could be anything you want. And you just kind of pull them in. And if I were to go ahead and edit this, you can see here that you can load as many images as you want for one product. You put the link in where it's going to go, right? So for us, we have our own landing page software. But this allows you to just very easily pull in ads like as much as you want, right? But other than that, Perry, I don't know what else you would want me to show right
That's
here.
okay for now. I think that's good enough. We'll go back to the doc. But hey, by the way, Matt, if you want me to show you kind of what we do with giving away premiums to get subscribers, it's crazy. We're getting subscribers for less than $0 with premiums. So you might dig on some of that, or you may have already done that. I don't know if you've done it or not, if Matt's still on here, but it really is working incredibly well. Okay, let me go. I'm going to go back and share now, and I'll go back to this doc, and then we're gonna move on quickly. Can you let me share, please, Chad or Brittany, whoever it is that keeps turning me off?
And while you're sharing, can I just ask a question real quick, guys? Do you all feel like, I mean, he really did put me on the spot. I don't know nothing about banjos or anything, but do you guys all feel like you really can create a newsletter now? Like, I know I made it look pretty easy, but that's because it actually is that easy. Because y'all are going to have access to the software. We're going to do some more trainings, right? This is a hot topic right now. But I just wanted to see if everybody had the confidence, not just our Ignite members, but everybody that wasn't familiar with this, that's getting access. Do you feel like you're able to do this?